Hi everyone, so today I'm going to try out this, I think this is the latest magazine, there might be another issue, but I think this is the latest one from Hunkydory. It's volume 16, I picked this up on Craft Stash recently. Sometimes you'll find these like at Barnes & Noble, maybe some other, maybe Amazon, I don't know. I usually get them on Craft Stash because they're just a better deal, but you know. Yeah, so if it is still available there, I will link it in the description box, and that would be an affiliate link, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. Yeah, it's always interesting. So, like, it says Craft Essentials Series 127. Like, I don't know what that means, but either way, we're just going to play with this today. Ooh, make a little card or something, and let's see what's in here. So I had hauled it recently. I didn't really open it up completely, but we always have the magazine with lots of inspo. Here we have... a embossing folder, I believe a die, maybe a stamp set, because I feel like there's something else in there too. Yeah, so the embossing folder that, sorry, we have the embossing folder that looks like an A2 size, maybe 4x6, I don't know, let's see, just over 4 inches, so of course the embossing is a little bit smaller than that, by 5 3/4, so yeah, A2, I would say. That's what's going to fit there. How cute. Let's feel this. Really sweet. It feels like a basic, you know, 2D embossing folder or whatever, not the 3D type, basically. So that's that. And then we have this little swan that's all pretty with all its little, like, etchings and embossed areas and cut areas. Really nice little size. And then, oh yeah, there it is. Look at the little stamp, and have Magical Day with love, the cute little tiny butterflies, and the sweet little swans there. And this is, I was just going to say, of course, acrylic. But it's not always, of course, acrylic, because sometimes some companies, like Tonic, of course, do photopolymer, right? And then we have the magazine. So I'll probably flip through this and see. I'm probably just going to make some kind of basic card. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of cute things that we can try out. Oh, that's cute. This one, all they did was use the embossing folder and add a little gilding wax, it looks like. On a larger card, even. So they ran it through and then just let the embossing be in the center, you know, and even though the card is larger around. It's a nice idea. Oh, this is Unicorn Tunnel. That's interesting, because what did they do to get the holes? You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. So they used the area, they took it out, and then drew inside the aperture that wherever you took it out, and then they used the knife to cut it. So, not something I'm going to be doing, but that's a really cute idea. And let's open this up. This is the paper pack, bumper pack, Hunkydory. It's just so cute. So their papers are called Adorable Scoreable. That's just what they call all their papers. And then, you know, nice paper, nice weight for layering. Look at that. I mean, you can use all these different things and stack them up, of course. The different layers with the rings. And look at this one. Oh, these are always so interesting. A lot of times I don't know what to do with these, so maybe I'll look in the book, but... in the magazine, I mean, you can cut it down, but it does have that sheen that's a little different. I don't mind that for decoupage. I don't really care so much for that for like these background papers, but they're really cute. This would be cute to make like a box out of, honestly, like a gift box. That's a good use for them. Yes, yes, yes. And all you do is just do your lines and do your scoring. So this would be the top of the box or whatever, and then maybe a plain pink or light blue at the base of your box. Cute. Maybe I'll follow up with something like that just so you guys can have an idea to use papers that maybe you're not sure how to use. Look at this one. So cute. There's lots of them. Oh my gosh. Or even just fold it in half and make an insert or a notebook or whatever. Like, honestly, that's what it reminds me of. It feels like material that would be on the outside like a notebook. These are really sturdy. And maybe the other ones feel... I don't know if they're different. It's just because they have, holes, like, where they're cut, so it makes the paper feel different. I don't know. This stuff feels super sturdy. Oh, I was going to say, what is this? So these are plain papers? Look at that. A ton of just white paper. Just a ton of it. I guess I'm not sure for what. We will see. Maybe for the stamping, but it's very thin. It's like printer paper. And then this paper has a sheen to it. Oh my gosh, I don't want to mess it up. It feels like gift wrap, but much thicker, like a super, super high quality gift wrap. And the beautiful little flowers. Oh my gosh. These are just so different, Look at that. And then this side here. And whenever I go to Craft Stash and I place an order, I always check their deal of the day and see if they have any other things going on, because a lot of times they'll have something free or whatever. Not a lot of times. I mean, I think they probably do a free thing like once a month, or you know, you can just add it to your order or whatever. What happens is when you go to check out, it'll pop up and it'll say whatever item free, and then you can add it or not add it. It's like, why wouldn't you add it? So it's just add it and then it's free. So that's usually how they handle that. But look at this one. Oh, look at these ribbon strips. How cute are these to just kind of cut them and tuck them here and there. So pretty. And then I'm assuming, okay, this is the same kind of thing with the little unicorns but facing the other way. So the paper pack looks pretty. So let me thumb through this and see what I would like to make today, and we'll do that. So again, like, just want to show you this idea here of using an embossing folder. You can do this with any A2 size, but the card base is actually larger, so you would just tuck it on your paper, run it through, and then you have that little embossed design, but then your card base is actually bigger than that. Cute idea. I've never even thought to do something like that. And this one looks like they did a slimline, and then they used half the embossing folder on this side, ran it through, turn it around, put the half on the other side, run it through, so then you have like this design. So cute. But I think I'm going to do this one, and the reason being because it's very vague. It's called a one-sheet wonder. That helps us kind of think about what they were doing here, because if they're talking about like A4 paper because it's a British magazine, then it makes sense, but they didn't tell you here what size the card is. So it says, use the Unicorn Forest card collection, white DL card blank, okay, gold Miri card, gold diamond sparkles gem, which I don't have. Well, I might have some, but I don't. It's like those little flat stickers. I think I might have gotten some in a swap or something, but right now I don't know where those are, so I'm going to get some rhinestones or something else. 3D foam pads. But it says step by step, cut gold Miri card to fit the card. Front, a border from patterned cardstock and patterned paper strips 1/8 by 7 3/4. Okay, that's fine, but they don't tell you how big this actually is. So if we're assuming they're 7 3/4 inches long, I would say this is probably 8 inches tall, which is not typical of how I do my cards. It might even be 8 1/4 inches tall, because that's what A4 size paper is on the short side. But it doesn't really tell you how wide it is either, right? They didn't say what size the card base is. But the other strip is 1 1/8. So 1, 2, 3 at least, plus 3/8. That's, yeah. So that would be at least 3 3/8. So if you do 3 1/2, it's going to be very tight this way, and then you have extra that way. So what I'm thinking is, because even 7 3/4 leaves half an inch for 8 1/4, you know? I think maybe it's 8 inches tall by 3 3/8. Let's think. By 3 1/2. That still leaves a shorter gap at the top. We're going to engineer this backwards, though, I think, just to make sure that the sizes are okay and it looks proportional. I just don't want to have extra at the top and the bottom of this gold when the strips are too narrow or too short, whatever it is, because they didn't tell us the card base size. Layer up the card front, leaving a narrow strip of gold showing between the panels. Attach the inner frame flat and the topper and sentiments using 3D foam gems, and finish with gems. So, excuse me. So super easy, but we have to do some deciphering here, and that's pretty much why I chose this project too. So basically they're using this here, and it looks like she's only using this inner piece and then the next one to it. So let's pop these guys out very carefully. I'm just taking the whole piece, but I'll cut that in half, or not in half, but this piece, and then popping out this piece from the center. Ooh. If you're afraid to do this kind of thing, you can take a craft knife and get real close, but I mean, you have to be like right on it to help you get those tabs cut a little nicer. I'm just being super careful with it. Okay, and basically that's the piece that's like this. And then they did some border pieces, which are from the little paper that has the stars, which is, I think, the skinny paper. Yeah, it's these papers. And it looks like they used the pink one, even though it looks really bright in the picture. But yeah, they used, I mean, it looks really bright in real life, like a little more muted there. So they used this paper. Aw. And then they used the border one, which I think comes from over here somewhere. Yep, right here. So they cut this piece off, which is fine. Actually, with this one, I was thinking if you did this in half, the cute part is going to be facing the back anyway. Let's say if you made like a insert out of it, so might as well cut this piece off and use it. So I'll do that. And then they have some of the little sentiments from here for someone special, and then like they use another one. But maybe I'll do Have a Magical Day That one's really cute too. Okay, let me grab what I would do a card base with and the gold mirror card, which I have, and we'll try to get this together. So what I'm first going to do is not cut this stuff or my card base because I don't know what it's going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be one of these sizes that they normally use in the UK, but like they didn't mention it and it seems kind of odd. So let's cut our strips. So with this guy, the strip should be 1 1/8 by 7 3/4. So this middle one, I'm going to go to 1 1/8. It's just over 1 1/8 right there. And whenever I do that, I just try to see as well as I can that it's as straight as I think it should be. So I'm looking over here, and hopefully we're there. So there's that. So pretty. And already, if this is 1 1/8, I can see that her paper, I don't know if you can see that, has more pink on it. So I think it's wider than this. So that would make sense. I think they put the wrong number there, to be honest. But we're just going to make it work. Okay, so there's 1 1/8. Again, by 7 3/4, we'll cut that part in the next thing here. So 1 1/8 times 2 is 2 2/8. That'd be 2 1/4. I'm just going to cut this whole thing at 2 1/4 just to have this piece cut, and then I'll cut the length off of it, and that'll be better. 7 3/4. I don't have to cut the length twice. Hopefully that makes sense. So 7 3/4. Actually, this part's a little bit crushed, so I'll cut that piece off. 7 3/4, and now the 1 1/8. 1 1/8. Hopefully that's about as straight as it needs to be. Okay, and now we need the 7 3/4 off of this one. We'll leave that. It has more foil than the other part, so 7 3/4. All right, so those are the strips that we would need. Now, you know, I'm going to put these here. So let's say we're at 1 inch, 1 1/8, right? And then a little space. I'm not lining them up quite right now. I'm just putting them here, just to kind of have an idea of how wide this should be. So if I'm giving them a little space in between, so we have 1, 2, 3 and a half-ish. It's just over 3 1/2. So let's say 3 1/2 because we can get these closer together. You know, leaving a little space in between. So let's say 3 1/2. By how long is this? Let's see. We said 3 1/4. Okay, so 3 1/2 is literally how big these are. So I'm just trying to do some math, guys. Like in my head, I'm thinking like, what do I want? So that's 3 1/2. But I need it to be bigger than 3 1/2 because we want some edge, huh? 4 inches would be really big. Let's say 3. Let me think about what I want to do. I'll be right back. Okay. So I'm going to cut my mirror card and also the card at 3 3/4 by 8. That adds like a 1/4 inch, so a little bit around each edge, you know what I'm saying? A little bit more than what's tucked in the middle here. So what did I say? 3 3/4 by 8. So on this guy, actually I can cut it from this side. 3 3/4. A lot of this is going to be covered up, but that's okay. 3 3/4 by 8, because that adds roughly a 1/4 inch all around. If you wanted to add more, again, you can do the whole 8 1/4. That's probably what they did. It's probably 8 1/4 by 4, but the dimensions don't look right, and I have a feeling they cut those strips wrong anyway. So we're just coming up with our own fun numbers. So 3 3/4 by 8. I'm going to cut a card base that is 8 inches tall by 7 1/2. Yeah, no, sorry, I don't know why I thought I misspoke. Yeah, so we're going to need a card base, again, that is going to be 8 inches tall by 7 1/2 inches wide. Usually I do 7 inches wide, right? So this is a little bit bigger. And I'll be right back. Okay, so these are little strips that I have left over here. Actually, yeah, even a little strip like this, if it's nice and even, you can use it on something else, put it on a card or whatever. Okay, so I forgot all about this huge scoring board I have. I needed it for a project and I pulled it out. I'm like, oh, and I actually have 2 of them. Okay, so 8 inches wide here. We don't want that. We want the 7 1/2 inch side, and we're going to score it at 3 3/4 because that's, you know, as wide as we have our paper. That I think makes the design work best, but you know, whatever. I'll go this way here. And we're scoring that. So this is going to cover the whole front. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue that down. And I'm going to glue it in a way that I know these little strips might cover, because again, this paper is a little sensitive, that it's paper in the back and it's kind of like a plastic on the front. So if you put just a ton of glue and it's super visible, it might pucker. And it doesn't matter what glue you're using. It'll dry later, but you know, so right now I'm just putting some extra glue like where I know the other little paper strips are going to be covering. Does that make sense? Just hold that down. So I'm not really putting it on the very, very edge. And again, you just go light on the glue. If you put a ton, and that's just, you know, more that's gonna... Hi guys! It's gonna want to pucker. And it doesn't always happen, so that's why I'm saying just put a little bit of glue, and you're good to go. So I think we're done with that. This is a fancy little card, y'all. Okay. So again, all we're doing is lining up the strips. What I'm going to do is put this strip down first and then put the other ones aside from it. So again, I'm splitting the difference up and down. Sorry about the lighting there. Oh, you can also use, I don't know why, because I never think to use liner tape or tape runner. That definitely won't do anything to your mirror cards. It'll just hold it down. So if you're afraid, do that. So I guess I could put this down the center and line things up and be like, oh, this is on this side, but you know, I don't do that. Let me see, 1, 2, 3 3/4. Yeah, so it'd be like, you know, I can't even really tell where that would be to be even. So I'm just eyeballing where the center is on that one. And then we're gonna put these guys on either side. And of course you split the difference with like what's going on in the middle is what I'm doing. I'm looking at the edge, and actually this can probably move over just a little bit this way. That way that one is there. And this one's here. That looks pretty good. I think we're getting it together, guys. No inking, nice and fresh. I mean, you can use this side too if you like. I'm just trying to make it look like the example as much as we can. Now, I'm not gonna lie, usually I get my magazines and I end up doing whatever I feel like with the stuff, but I've been following instructions the last couple times that I've shown you guys a magazine. Oh my gosh, with that free SVG file I did this week. That was actually a lot of fun. I'm like hooked on SVG files now. I'm like, oh, they kind of do a lot of things, like a bigger project. I think that's fun. But which Tonic also sells. They're only like $3 or $4, and it'll be some of the dyes they used to sell, like the ones that make like a teapot or different things. In case you're wondering or you're curious, I will link that selections, and you can check that out. But yeah, I've always just, you know, done dyes, which I like the look of dyes, but it's kind of fun to just have the machine cut everything, especially that as many pieces as it was, and then that was it, you know. But anyway, I'm going to place this here, try to make it look a little more straight there. I can see that, again, it's hand cut. Of course, it's not super, super straight, but not bad at all. Look at that. That's really cute. And then they want you to pop this one in here sideways. So if we're looking at the image here. And it looks center. It looks a little above center, but at the same time centered. So, I don't know. It's probably like around here. So I'm just going to put a little glue, because I don't really know exactly what's all touching, but I know the very corners aren't, so I'm just going to put glue there. And again, just a little higher above center. And this card's going to end up being wider than you think because of the way it pokes out here. Now, you don't have to do that. I mean, it's a design option, but that makes the card, let me see, 2, 4, 5 inches wide. So you will definitely have to make your own envelope for this guy. It's almost a slimline, but much wider than that. I think some slimline envelopes are like 4 inches, like just over 4 inches. Okay. Oh. That was not great, but I think it's going to get covered. Okay. And let me put some dimensionals on this. How cute. Oh my gosh. Excuse me, my voice went out, and I figured, well, I was going to pause right now anyway to put the dimensionals so I didn't come back and just say what I was going to say. So yeah, I just put the dimensionals on the back of that. And let me clean this up before I do that. You can see there's a little glue. Glue is so easy to come off of metallic paper, which is really nice. And I'm just eyeballing everything. So we have this guy here. Oh, it seems a little too much this way. No, we'll go this way. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm just going to pop out these other little bits, okay? So from the paper pack, I'll be right back. This card is too sweet not to just get it ready. I think it's Louis Miranda's birthday card. Her birthday's coming up next month. So I'm just going to glue this part down for someone special, and then I'm going to pop up the this other part here. So cute, you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to split the difference between like the edge here and here as much as I can. And then this one, I'll just pop some little adhesive on the back. Oh, you know what? It has a place that I can put like a little tag if I wanted to. I don't think I'm going to, but that would be cute, wouldn't it? Ugh. Okay, fine. I'll add a little something here just to have that texture. Again, we're doing what we like. It's our card. So I'm going to add something in there, and then I'm going to grab some little rhinestones, okay? So I'll be right back. This stuff is from Hobby Lobby. It's not the easiest twine to work with, I'm going to tell you right now. I wonder if it's polyester based, does it say? Because honestly, oh, these are probably the worst scissors to cut it with. It will come apart here, and it looks like it's not... It's just weird stuff. Like, see here, it just like, it frays kind of badly. But let me cut it, and then we'll see what happens. And I'm not going to make a bow or anything. I think I'm just going to pop it in here. Or maybe, you know what, maybe I will make it a bow. Just because that'll be cuter. So we'll just do a bow. I was going to do like that half thing. So let me just tie a bow real quick, and I'll be right back. So I got that, and what I'm going to do is cut off the excess. That one looks okay. It's not too frayed, but this one's really long, so I'm just going to cut it. Maybe some of it does it more than other pieces, because look at this. It just will like explode. I don't know how to explain it. You cut it and it goes like it unravels. It's like, yay, this is not easy to work with. Maybe you should frill it out just like on purpose or something. I don't know. Let me see where they placed theirs. So they used a little heart, so it's of course a different shape, so it doesn't follow the same rules, but I'll just pop this here. And like right there. It's a little bit crooked. Hold on. There we go. And I said I was going to grab rhinestones, and I did not. Of course. Yeah, so I just grabbed these. Actually, they're sitting right next to me. These are pearls. Rhinestones are cute too, but you know, it's very soft. We already have a lot of shine, so why not? And these I had gotten on Amazon, so there's lots of different colors here, but what I'm going to try to do is get like the purple ones. I think that'll be cute just to keep it going with the same colorway. And they're just literally like right here. One. Actually, it'd be fun to pop different colors, I guess, too, because why not? But I'm sticking to the purple. So you have 3 down there. That looks pretty straight. Let's just pretend that's super straight, you guys. And then we have 3 up here. About there. Cute. This is the kind of thing I always forget to do. Whenever I add gems, or stones or anything like that, I always kind of like do a group of 3, but like in a fun way. And this actually looks really, really cute when you just kind of line them up. Is that the same color? It looks a little bit more pink, but okay. And there it is, guys, a card inspired by the magazine, but then, you know, taken to whatever it is that we want to do. We had to do a little working out, a little figuring it out, but look at that. And I'm telling you right now, if this is a paper pack they have this magical day, I am going to be buying more of it. So I'll link whatever pertinent items might be to this, you know, in the description box, but I'm really happy with the way this came out. How cute. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.